Good morning, fellow treble winners. It's been officially announced Cole Palmer has joined Chelsea on a permanent transfer, and this is my reaction video. Of course, how you feel about this transfer may vary to me for many reasons, of course. And this is once again, it's just my opinion. You're here to see what I reckon about this. You don't have to agree with me. I won't blame anyone who agrees differently. But I am disappointed. I can't deny that. This one does sting. On a morning, of course, where we've seen James McAtee go on loan to Sheffield United, we've just confirmed, only barely 20 minutes later, Cole Palmer to join Chelsea on a permanent transfer. And this one, yeah, it hurts a little bit. Now, of course, I'll get over it in time. That's what football does. You move on. You fall in love with someone else who's a footballer, all this kind of stuff. But I'm going to kind of probably go on a bit of a monologue for the next 5-10 minutes and talk about what this transfer means to me personally and why I am disappointed. The caveat, of course, again, is that if you don't really rate Cole Palmer as much as I do, this may just seem like hyperbole or nonsense to you. That's fine. Please don't come in the chat now and tell me what an idiot I am or to get over it. I just feel differently to you. Have some empathy. Understand that people's opinions are different and respect that like an adult. Because that's what decent people do, you know. So do that. So once again, if you don't rate Cole Palmer, that's fair enough. I've listened to this video with an open mind, or just click off it straight away. That's what I will say, because I've got no time for arguing with people in the chat about how I'm wrong. You know, like it's my feeling right now is one of disappointment for personal reasons and for so on. So this is where we're at. Cole Palmer has left. I've been watching Cole Palmer play for City's academy sides for many years now. Many years. I remember the first time I saw Cole Palmer. I saw a young, talented player, elegant, like waspish and buzzing about everywhere, but with an energy, a kind of sort of like laid back, laconic energy that made him look almost like he was sort of being carried along by the breeze. He was such an exciting young footballer with such natural talent that I immediately was drawn to Cole Palmer's ability. A special footballer. I don't think there's many Mavericks left in football in general. So the kind of player that can put three people on their arse and then put it in the top corner or dink it over the goalkeeper or score a hat-trick minutes after playing for the first team for the EDS. Those players are the kind of players that I love to watch. I just love them. I love an exciting young winger. I love one, of course, who's broken through too. I love one who you know... Someone just said McAtee has a chance. What are you talking about? McAtee's gone on loan to Sheffield United. It's just happened. Not sure if you missed that, mate, but his chance is done as well. We all know that, let's be honest. But I love players like that, especially when they are local lads too. That means a lot to me. I guess the frustration from my end on this is that I don't think we needed to make this transfer. Now, the money is good. I'm sure the money is good. But is the money worth what I think he's going to worth? I don't think it is. I understand why the 45 million would be accepted by Manchester City, 45 to 50 million, whatever it's going to be. I actually saw a rumour that Carl Doon didn't agree with this, and this was more of a Soriano pushing it thing, which is interesting. But I guess I'm a little bit tired personally of this viewing academy players as saleable assets and nothing else. The numbers on a spreadsheet. And I get we're a business, but I'm not a business. I'm a football fan. And ultimately, the thing for me is that I love to see young players breaking through into the first team. This is sentimentality. I agree. It's not how you run $1 billion business. So I'm not telling Soriano is wrong. I'm not telling these people they're wrong. I'm just telling how I feel. And I'm telling, for me, it will never be easy for me to accept that young players with lots of talent can just be shifted on so easily. I feel like we should really, 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 really know. I really know before they go. Now, that's how I feel like sometimes. It can't be for all of them. But I guess the way I feel about this one is that I feel like he was good enough. That's why I'm frustrated. Cole Palmer, for me, if you look, let me just try and find, there's some stats on Cole Palmer. I didn't really prepare this. But I feel like if you look at where he's played over the years, if you look at what he's done and all that kind of stuff, and his average positions and so on and where he's played, you see that he's rarely actually played in his favourite position. Cole Palmer is a right winger. Now, if you look actually at his heat map for last season, if you go over here and you go and look at where he actually played, he basically just sort of played as a left winger more often than not. He more or less played as a left winger, and he basically played in a role that he's just not absolutely suited to. So every time he came on, he sort of played there. You can tell by that heat map. Played a little bit on the right, but largely played as a left winger. And for me, it's like, I watched a player come through and not really been given a chance often in the place that he actually plays. The year before last, when he got excited, when he looked exciting, you know, that to me was Cole Palmer at his sort of best. Now, if you go back to the season before last, when he came on, and go back to the Carabao Cup where he played quite a bit, he obviously had a bit on the right wing and so on. Like, think about the Wickham game or so on, and the Swindon game and things like that. He was a right winger in those games. Cole Palmer last season was often used as a body around the first team. That's absolutely fine. That, like, stop spamming in the chat, by the way, people. But Cole Palmer was used as a body, and, like, I feel like he rarely got a chance to actually play on his favourite position. When he finally got one, I'm not saying he played that great last year, by the way. His form was up and down, but he was in a different role. When he finally got a chance on the right this season, like, he scored that wonderful goal at Wembley against Arsenal, nonetheless. Arsenal. To have the confidence to do that against Arsenal, a world-class team. And Arsenal are a world-class team. And then get a man of the match in a game that Sevilla were taken seriously, by the way. Like, Sevilla were taking that seriously. You got man of the match in that game. Scored, of course, as well. And helped City, you know, win a cup. That is his level. That is what Cole Palmer is capable of. So I've been waiting for ages now, for a couple of years, for the stars to align for this perfect Cole Palmer chance. And I was thinking, look, do you know what? The squad is thin. Cole Palmer is finally getting the chance on the right. Riyad Mahrez is gone, and we've got this young Riyad Mahrez sort of clone here. And finally, it sort of feels like it's ready. And he's just gone to Chelsea. And we've accepted it. And do you know what? I'm not blaming Man City for all this. I actually sort of blame Cole Palmer a little bit. I think Cole Palmer sort of just messed up a little bit himself. Literally, minutes after Guardiola was being interviewed and talking about Cole, he said a billion times. Guardiola said, you know, Cole Palmer said, Guardiola said, I want him to stay, but it's up to him if he wants to stay or go. Guardiola said that a billion times. And then he had Jack Grealish and Kyle Walker stood next to him in an interview. Like, we had basically two senior players saying that he's a great talent, he just needs to wait around and be patient. He listened to him, said that, and then he just said afterwards he sort of just wants to play football, implying that he wants to go. He felt to me a little bit naive and a little bit like, mate, you just sort of just burned your bridges a tiny bit. So I do think he sort of shit the bed a little bit, unfortunately, with Cole. Like, he's gone to Chelsea, but he's not guaranteed games. He wants to be a right winger, and Sterling's just had the best game of his season, like in about a couple of years. He's never going to get ahead of Sterling there. I'd understand if it was Brighton. You know, I'd understand if it was someone else, but like for me, it was just right, and I feel like he's got it wrong. I'm disappointed in Cole. I'm disappointed in City for being so blasé about letting him go. I know it's a lot of money, but I feel like actually they should have gone, Cole, stay. What are you doing? Like that, you're going to be a part of the squad this year. You got to get minutes. I feel overall, it's just not, it's one of those things, 45 minutes, it's very good money. I can't deny it. Many things can be true at the same time. That's what I would say. Is it great money for a player who's barely played a lot of Premier League football? Yes. Is it also true that I think he has the ability to play at Champions League level and be a first-team player for Man City? I think it's true, yes. I can't prove it. Like, you can't really prove it's great money either, because, you know what I mean? There's many ways looking at it. Is it also possible true that if he does well at Chelsea, he could be double that value almost immediately? Yes. Is it also true that it's hard to find young wingers who can score goals like that and play Manchester City style of football who are homegrown, club trained at 21 years old? Yes. It's very hard to find that. Is it also true that we've got very little depth these days? Yes. Is it true that Jeremy Doku could not actually adapt for a long time and take a while, that Paul Palmer could actually get game time? That's also true. He could adapt immediately, of course. But what I'm saying is I don't think it really was a good move for Cole or Man City, personally. Good business, but good for the football sense. Those two are very different things. I would separate them always, you know. Look, you could argue, turn around and say 100 million for De Bruyne would be great business given his age. But you'd want to keep him, wouldn't you? You know what I mean? You could turn around and say, what, if someone offered 150 million for Phil Foden, that's more or less one of the highest fees ever in world football. And that would be great business because it's an awful lot of money. But you'd be like, 150 million? Wow, for an academy product. But then you're like, well, no, it's terrible for the football team. That's what I'm saying, you know? Like, even like 90 million for Alvarez would be great business now. But you'd be like, stupid to do it. We need him. I'd rather have him. So, that's the thing. That's the thing, is I'm not criticising, like, Guardiola. Because Guardiola clearly wanted him to stay. That's the thing, is like, I'm aware of all these things. it just to me is like, I feel like at some point, I guess I'm just frustrated because I feel like a lot of fans and myself, I've been guilty of this at all. We've drank the net spend Kool-Aid and we've drank the kind of academy players are to be sold Kool-Aid. Like, I think it's a shame. Like, I feel like, given that City have investigated for FFP so much, I do feel like, you know, City are very quick to make the book on the young players. I get it. We have to do it. But I think we're very proud of how much we sell our young players for as a club, and I feel like we've become proud of it as well as fans, and it feels weird that we're not the CEO, like, we're not the COO, we're not like the board. Why are we so happy how much we're selling young players for? Like, especially when the squad is thin as well. That is the thing for me. It's like, it is thin. Like, I was doing this graphic earlier about the current squad, and I'll jump over it to you right now. You know, that's the current starting 11, isn't it? You know, roughly. And these are the subs, you know. And so, you know, McAtee's gone. So you've got these players here, the ones that Guardiola currently trusts. We don't even know he trusts Doku yet, you know what I mean? He wasn't a Guardiola signing, apparently. Gomez, Bob Phillips, you know, they own, like, Bob is academy lad. Phillips, Pep's been weird with. I might be wrong with that. KDB's injured. So, like, we could do with Cole. We could do with him. So, like, it's one of those things where, like, is it good news? I don't know, man. I don't know. There won't be a buyback, by the way. Chelsea aren't going to sign a player like Cole Palmer. Chelsea won't do buybacks. They're Chelsea, you know. If this was a smaller side, yeah, sure, but it won't be. Super chat from Sam. Thank you so much. Says, the sale hurts a lot. I was gutted when Tosin left. Cole hurts more. Selling lads like Carlos and Lavia is annoying, but selling local lads is painful. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Looking back, look, my general stance on academy loanee players leaving has softened. I used to be really like academy, and you guys will know if you've been following me, watching me for years. I've softened that stance. I understand the barriers to entry. I actually think, weirdly, I was more right back then than I am now. Like, I think actually the barriers to entry was a little bit lower because I think City weren't as good many years ago as they are now. But now we are. I understand we are elite level. I understand what Guardiola's done. I understand the levels of excellence. And so I've sort of relaxed a little bit. I get it. That it's harder these days and I'm more relaxed. But the reason I'm just frustrated with Cole is that I actually think he was good enough. That is the thing. I suspect I'm right on that. I suspect Cole Palmer, if you the difference is, will he play at Chelsea? That's what I'm frustrated by. But I suspect if he plays regularly, he's going to turn defenders inside out because that's what he does. He's going to score goals. Cole Palmer is a 15-goal a season, 10 assist player. Absolutely. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you it. And that's the thing I'm frustrated about. Like, they don't grow on trees, those players. We know it because we've seen it, you know? I don't think... Anne said Palmer must have done something Pep did not like. No, I don't think he did. I think the thing he was guilty of is impatience. For what it's worth, everyone's spinning this narrative that Pep was happy for him to go. I don't think Pep was. Pep said a billion times, they're going to try and find Guardiola's quotes on Cole Palmer, you know? Guardiola, Palmer, he's always been quite honest about it. Let me try and find the quote. There's an element where Guardiola said a bit, I mean, I might struggle to find it, but he said so many times that we want him to stay. But he got frustrated because obviously he's pushing like quite a lot to play football. He said he either stays or he goes, not doing this loan thing. So I think Pep got a bit impatient with his impatience, but he definitely wanted him to stay. The thing is, I understand wanting to play every week, but I would argue you're still 21 years old and you're in a great position. Just be calm about it, man. Just be calm about it. Wait around and know that you are going to get football. Once again, and go back to that graphic and look at this squad. Cole Palmer's there. He gets football. Because, look, this is with everyone available, by the way. Just take 2 or 3 of those out. If we're playing 100 minutes, KDB, you just cut him off right full stop. He's ahead of these guys. He's ahead of Gomez. He's ahead of Bob. You know, then you leave that. If he's ahead of Gomez and Bob, then there's only 2 other attacking players on that bench. Doku and Alvarez. Maybe Nunez sort of gets it by proxy as well. But that's not many. Like, some people will get injured. You know that's true. We're going to get injured. We're going to play 100-minute plus games. We are the treble winners. People are going to kick us, and we're going to get tired. You know it's going to happen. It happens every single year. Like, this is not new information. That's why if he hung around, I can't imagine a scenario where he doesn't get substantial minutes. And if he builds on what he did in the Super Cup and in the Community Shield, with Juan Marlilo back, who apparently is a good friend of his and rates him, I don't understand why we wouldn't be seeing a scenario where Cole Palmer gets substantial minutes. And I know he wanted to leave. And I know he wanted to leave, so it's disappointing, you know, and it's his short course. But actually, I'm disappointed in Cole for being impatient. I'm disappointed in those people who've advised him badly. I feel like he should have stayed around. I feel like he's swallowed the Kool-Aid about first-team football too much. He's in the best place in the world. Hang around, Cole. So I'm not blaming Man City. And I need to sort of follow up my own tweet here because I'm getting people kicking at me for my reaction to this one here. I want to just reply to this here because I feel like I need to. Just want to say, I'm going to reply to this here. So just want to say, I also think Cole is a little to blame here too. I want to add this because I'm getting cooked in the replies. I think Pep made it clear that there was a place for him, but sadly, he's been a bit impatient. He would have obviously got minutes. You know, got loads of minutes, I would say, this season. Just wait, you know. Like I think he's been naive a bit. I think he's been poorly advised, personally. I think he has done, and I want to just say that because I want to clear it up. Like it's just, to me, it's a shame. 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 I think it's been a bad call. I think it's been a bad call. Mara Riff with the super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. He says he went for money. Will he get ahead of Raz? He didn't. I don't think he went for money. I don't think he did went for money. I think the appeal of Chelsea is obvious. You know, Chelsea are an elite club. We can't pretend they're not. I know they're a mess, but Chelsea are still a massive club. That London life, you know, paying for Pochettino, he probably sells a good deal, you know. I don't think he went for money. I think he's gone because I think he genuinely thinks it's going to be good for him. But I feel like he's not made a smart decision here. Like, he won't get ahead of Sterling in this form. That's the thing. Like, I feel like I don't want to entirely blame Guardiola. I don't think Guardiola's to blame at all, actually. I think, like, Cole's sort of to blame a little bit. And I think the board, I think in general, the whole pitch, everyone should have been a little bit more like, can we get real here? You're good enough to play for City. You obviously trusted as part of this squad. Morris is available. Just stay around. I feel like everyone's sort of just had a bit of financial. The only people who've had a good decision here, in my opinion, I feel like they're right that it's good money. It's, you know, like, I get it. I'd rather have the player. Would you rather have 45 million or the player? Right now, I'd rather have the player. I think that's the way I can put it. The temptation of what Cole Palmer could be to me far outweighs £45 million. I know it sounds crazy, but £45 million, we've got one of those sat on a bench who doesn't even play. Like, £45 million is a lot of money, but for Man City, it's not insane money. It's not, and that's the thing is, like, we're not skint. We've got plenty of money. We just want a treble. Our finances are off the charts according to our own executives, you know. We're winning the money league. Like, the net, I don't care about the net spend. I would rather have the player. Because I think what Cole Palmer could potentially bring, it could be way worth more, you know? And there's an argument to say that Cole Palmer is probably more Man City proven and more Man City suitable than Jeremy Doku. And I can't wait to see Doku. But I don't think that's an crazy thing to say, is it? Would anyone else go along with that statement? Palmer is much more of a Man City winner than Doku right now. And I think Cole Palmer's seen Doku come in and gone, oh, I won't play much, you know? And I would argue, actually, there's rumours that this is a cheeky signing with Doku. What if Guardiola just doesn't rate Doku? You know, there's a chance that he doesn't rate him. Like, we don't know that answer yet. Hang around. You know, he's a Belgian international, I agree. But that doesn't mean he's a Man City player. Those two are very different things, you know? And that's the thing I would say, you know, there's been a lot of players that won't always make it, you know, won't always look at Man City play for Belgium, you know? And I'm not criticising Doku here, by the way. I can't wait to see him. But the point is, Doku is a big question mark. He's a big question mark still, you know? He's a big question mark still. Phillips is an England international. Lemons is the exact same point. It's the exact same point. Phillips is an England international. He doesn't play. Phillips has got way more experience. He's a Premier League player. A Bielsa trained England international, you know? And I'm not comparing Doku like if you've been stupid enough to think I'm criticising Doku here, then you're an idiot. I'm not criticising Doku. I'm just saying fairly that Doku is still a question mark in terms of Man City. Like we know what Guardiola's like with players if he doesn't rate them. We don't know if he does yet. So I suspect we will see here. You know, I suspect we'll see here what's going on. The point I'm making about Doku is that like he could have just waited. He could have just waited and seen what's going on. That's it. Doku will be excellent. I feel I'm confident about it. Am I still talking about Palmer? Yeah, I am. Indeed, I am. You know, Wolves have just announced your man Tommy Doyle, apparently. You know, there we go. I'll jump over to here. You know, there we go. Another young player leaving. I'm so bored of seeing young players leave Man City. Eventually it's a little bit like, you know, he's another City, a City lad through and through. His grandparents are both City players. You know, it's a little bit like, you know, it's like, can we just keep some of them? You know, can we keep some of them? You know, give them a chance. At this point, I think Doyle will do a better job than Phillips. You know. Anyway, here's the actual article, by the way. I'll go over to the big screen, as always. It says, thank you, Cole. It says, Cole Palmer has left Man City to join Chelsea on a permanent deal. Attacking midfielder progressed through the academy age groups to captain under 18s in the 2019-20 season, and that form was rewarded when he was invited to train with the first team. Made the bench on 4 occasions, and then remained in the squad at the start of the 2021 campaign. First team debut in the Carabao Cup against Burnley in September 20. Long-term contract in summer 21. Scored his first senior goal Carabao Cup win against Wickham September of that year. I remember. Prem soon come. Foot injury hampered his progress. It did. It slowed him down. It was so frustrating because I feel like he was just... That was against Swindon, wasn't it? And I feel like he was just... it's one of those things where, like, I feel like he was just ready to get over it, you know? He's gone, get over it. Mark, do you know what, mate? With all due respect, shut up. Like, don't be so... Like, if you're not a fan of talking about Cole Palmer, click off the video, man. Like, I've told you at the start, like, anyone's telling us to get over it or get a grip, just grow some empathy, you know? Like, it's just frustrating people telling people how to feel. I'm not telling you how to feel, you know? I'm telling my opinions. I find it frustrating when people are so insensitive to tell people to get a grip or get over it. No, let me just talk about a player that I care about. I care about academy players' progression at Manchester City. I do. It's how I feel about it. And that's totally valid. If that bugs you, click off the video. You know, and maybe I have Nico, but, you know, you're a moaner, so... and, like, you know, anyway, you know... I get frustrated because anyway, it's done, it is done, and we have to get over it, and I am frustrated by it, and I guess at this point, you know, like, at least you know how, at least you know I'm being sincere here, you know, I'm being sincere, like, how I feel about this. I'm not criticising the City, I'm just disappointed. That's fair, right? You know, one of our own, and he's been at the club forever, you know. It's a shame. Guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Like, subscribe. They're my honest opinions. If you don't agree, so be it. You're probably right. Maybe I'm right. Who knows? Bye-bye, and I'll see you probably very soon for Nunes. You know, Chelsea. That's the one thing I want to say, by the way. Chelsea, I don't get it. I think Chelsea's a bad... Like, do I think he's really good? Yeah, I do. I really do. I think he's a quality footballer. No, look, someone said, if you want no negative energies, if you want to talk about City, talk positive energy like Big Steve. No, Big Steve's a top bloke. No, but I don't just do positive for the sake of it. And I'm like, this is something I don't feel is positive. I don't. I could go around and go, yay, we sold someone for money, yay. Everything, yay, all the time. No, I'm not an idiot. Like, I'm not going to pretend I'm happy about something that I'm not. Do I think everything's great in the world of Man City? I do. Bigger picture, yeah, wonderful. You know, like, I do. I think everything's great, and we're going to win the league still, all that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to pretend to be happy when I'm not. Like, I don't do positive for the sake of it, you know. Like Big Steve, I admire that positivity, and I'm not saying he's positive for the sake of it. But I obviously care about the Cole Palmer situation more than some people, and I get that, you know. But anyway, like, don't tell people to get over it, Mark. You know what I mean? Like, it's like shutting down people's feelings, you know. I disagree. I feel passionate about this, and I get annoyed when people tell me just to, you know. Anyway, I apologise if I'm rude, Mark, but I don't apologise for people telling me to just, you know, to basically shut up, and I don't like it. Anyway, bye. You know, I'm allowed to be frustrated. You know, I care about this club. I do. Like, people, it's funny because people always think I'm just some happy clapper, but I'm not. You know, I'm not. I actually do care about these players, and I do care about. It means more to me when young players get through. Anyway, all opinions are valid. Right, anyway, in a bit. I love you all loads, genuinely. I'm not moaning here. I'm ranting about something I care about passionately. I feel like the difference is, Nico, like you call Kovacic terrible and a massive downgrade, which is obviously nonsense. You know, that was the difference. Like, he's Kovacic. Like, anyway, I know I must admit, I'm not perfect. I will get frustrated every now and then. I'm sorry if I'm being a bit rude. I genuinely mean it. I don't mean to be. I just feel strongly about this. Love you all loads. I genuinely do. I do appreciate all the support. But this is football. It means a lot to people. It gets us going. I don't think there's anything wrong about being passionate about this. I feel strongly about this point. I do. And I think I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm not angry. Disappointed. Anyway, I love you all loads, sincerely. Like this video if you want to. Cole, I'm going to miss you, mate. You made the wrong call. I'm sorry, Cole. You did. I think City made the wrong call. The businessmen maybe did, but the football team didn't. That's what I reckon. Doesn't matter. We'll win the league anyway, I guess. Bye-bye.